everybody. We're back, and this time we're en route from Denver, Colorado, back to where we live in Texas. And we stopped at this rest stop to review DC Universe Rebirth, #1.
What did you think?
Well, should we rate it like we rate a movie?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll kind of pretend it's a movie.
I would give it I liked it, so I would give it like an 8.5. You?
I'm gonna have to give it an 8. So I'm like slightly lower than you.
Well, I haven't read as many comic books as Rob, so for me, this is actually pretty new. Like, I know the characters from the cartoons, from the movies, but not from comic books. Like, I haven't. No, I haven't read any.
You haven't read. I don't think you've read any of these characters. She's read comics. but
Yeah, mostly Marvel.
Mostly Marvel.
Yeah.
And Swamp Thing,
Yeah, you're right.
which is DC. And I've read. I think the only character that I haven't read about featured on this really awesome double cover artwork. The Flashes, I've read probably the least of, and maybe Captain Marvel, although Captain Marvel's not really in it a whole lot, I don't think. Do you remember him being in it a lot?
No, but they'll probably be in it in
Yeah.
other issues.
Yeah, when the rest of them come out, I'm sure he might
Yeah,
show
for
up.
me, that I don't know the whole story of all the characters. It was like pretty interesting. Like, I feel that maybe, like you mentioned, that DC is doing this because they want new readers, but I think it's kind of hard to follow if you're a totally new reader. Like, I could follow through because of the cartoons that I knew a little bit, but yeah, I think I have to read it. I have to read it like a couple of times to really know what was happening.
Because it's thick, full of activity.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in this. And whereas the majority of my high rating is because there's so many great things going on, I kind of had my and it's not great to have expectations, but I was thinking they were going to go in like a whole new direction in an approach that's new, and this feels a little familiar to me.
Okay.
Like it deals with a really grand universe with a lot of characters, and it's explaining a lot, and it seems like a lot of little stories going on. And I guess to compare it to something else, if you took like a DC Elseworlds story, where it's a contained, one story, like this feels so epic, even though it's this one issue, that I felt like I had a hard time following certain things, but and it was just so much going on. I wanted to spend a little bit more time with characters before jumping on to another character and another character. You know what I mean? But where it really was great was the artwork. I think was really wonderful throughout most of it. And there were some great moments. I feel like there's a moment with the Blue Beetle. Do you remember
Yeah.
And this, well, see, we'll use this to see how much you were able to understand about the Blue Beetle, because you don't know
Well,
who he is a lot at all.
I watched the Young Justice
Oh, right.
movie, so
Right.
I know who is he. But yeah, I think for the new readers, there are too many characters. Maybe, of course, I think that probably they would explain them all in some other issues. Like they did a very good job, like with the story and to keep you like wanting more to and wanting to read the next issue. That's really good.
Well, let's see like how much you understood about the. Did you understand who the Blue Beetle was? Like was, and like who the guy
Who
was
wanted to
constructing?
work with?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
See, I think the guy who wants the Blue Beetle to work with him is the son of the original Blue Beetle,
Oh, okay.
right? Did you, was that evident?
Yeah, no, not really. Yeah, there's like a lot of yeah, Flash explains it a little bit, but not quite.
And there's a lot of
Like,
explaining.
There's like some time issue. Like you will read it, but they're like some of them are younger, and then some of them aren't the characters that are supposed to be in the real world. I don't know.
This, it goes through and it sets up very elaborately this new universe that DC is doing, and I think there's going to be a lot of great things coming out of it.
But it's definitely something that you need to. Well, for me, I needed to read it twice,
Yeah,
so I
have
could
to read it
understand.
twice, too.
Like I had to go through each page like twice to understand who was talking, what really happened, why they were contacting. Like some of the parts were really specific, and I don't know. Seems like this comic book is for grown-ups to me. I'm not sure if a kid would follow up. I don't know.
Maybe young adults to, and grown and adults. Yeah. I mean, if you plan on buying more of the Rebirth stuff, then definitely this does a really detailed job on getting this new universe started, and I do think it's worth picking up for sure. I guess I'm just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen after this issue. I've read the Superman Rebirth and the Batman Rebirth. I'm not sure how many issues this is supposed to be, or if it's just everything's launched at #1.
Yeah.
Now, is there going to be like a #2 to this Rebirth, or does it just shoot over to? I hope there's #2 because, well, should we do spoilers?
I don't know.
There's some big things revealed, and there's some interesting things that are changing in the DC Universe, and I'm curious to see what happens, and I can't wait to see more of this great artwork too. I especially like the faces and the facial expressions. I thought that was really good. There's
Yeah.
lots of great moments throughout the whole thing. No villains.
No villains yet. Well, you have like some of like they mentioned them, a couple of them, 2 or 3 villains are mentioned, but it's really
it's about the heroes.
it's a little bit I think it's like a mystery kind of comic book. Like it doesn't involve a lot of action. It's more like understanding something that has happened to the world, and they're trying to solve a mystery. So I think it's a good start. Let's see like where it goes. I think the next issue would be like very important to see if it will be worth keep reading or not. But I think it's a pretty great start. Like I think maybe they were so excited about it that they tried to put like a lot of things in it. So
there's a lot going on, and it's a nice book to spend time with, you know, and to really take a look at the amazing detail in the artwork. Here's a cool page with the flashes. A lot of cool.
Yeah, very, very cool artwork.
Yeah. So, if you're a DC fan, if you want to know what's going on in the DC Universe, this is a must-have, I'd say. If you're looking just for pure entertainment,
I don't think this is a good comic book to start if you just started reading comic books. I think it's quite complicated, so start with something more light.
start with like a trade paperback that's a contained story. I think this feels like the beginning of like 1,000 issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it feels like, the beginning to 1,000 issues. Like it's I think basically it's condensing the old DC universe and telling us why and how it's changing into this new thing.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit part of the problem for me. Like, I know a little background of the characters, but not a lot, so that's what had me like a little bit confused. I feel like I have to research and then read it again. So yeah, not for first time comic book readers, but I will keep reading this for sure.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
There's a really cool scene with Dr. Fate that I liked. And I'll say one thing I was a little disappointed is that there's not a lot of Swamp Thing in this. Like I thought, and it's fine. He's in it for like just a second, just a moment, and that's fine. There's gonna be more Swamp Thing.
Cool.
I'm gonna plug Swamp Thing right now because where they ended it with the new, I think the new 52 Swamp Thing was brilliant. I loved that arc that ended, and I would love to see more. I'm not really a fan of the art of the current Swamp Thing, so I'm looking forward to see maybe this will allow some new Swamp Thing stuff to happen.
Cool.
So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Check it out. We'll be back with something else
Yeah, definitely.
next week.
Bye. Thanks.
And if you have suggestions,
Oh yeah, comment. Please.
And if you like
subscribe, like
this,
our
we'd like to see
video.
if things start getting likes, what happens.
Yeah.
Tell us what you like, what you'd like to
What
see
you don't
more of.
like.
I guess if you want to say what you don't like, that's fine.
Yeah. Thanks.